Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So, I wanted to make a quick video today on something that I think a lot of people are going to be concerned about, things that people are considering in the new year. And it was sort of spurred by a post that I saw on the Reddit IT career questions subreddit. So, let me go pull that up real quick. So, if we go ahead and take a look at this, we can go see that this person was posting, please help me. I'm struggling and drowning. I need to get an entry level job in New York City. And it's been so hard. I feel like breaking down, crying, screaming at the world. So, um, first things first, um, I completely, totally understand where this person is coming from. That feeling of being out of work during a recession, doing everything by the book, doing all the stuff that you feel like you should be doing and not seeing any results is incredibly frustrating. And my heart goes out to this person. I know how that feels, right? I remember when I made arguably one of the dumbest decisions of my life, quitting a job where everybody else at the company had like multiple degrees from MIT. They'd come from like the media lab to start a company doing pattern recognition. They were the people that did a analytics on the Old Testament and determined that it was actually written by five distinct authors. And it was during the dot-com boom, so I thought that was a normal job. I was the only person there without like an advanced degree, aside from like the secretary, I think. And I quit on a whim and moved to Los Angeles after moving out there or not after going out there on vacation during the winter time, and thinking to myself how brutal the Massachusetts winter was compared to California and the pretty girls and the sunshine and and all of that, and moved out, had a little bit of money saved up, had a really good time for the first 3 months, and then the economy went boom, and I find myself without a job and worked, for the next year or so in all sorts of little gigs where I was doing framing at an art supply store. I worked at a photography store. I did freelancing. It was brutal, but during that year and a half, it was really, 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 really hard on me, just mentally and emotionally, and I really struggled to try to find work, and I remember feeling like this, where it just burnt out, and at the end of my rope. So continuing this, saying that they're 25 years old, they linked to their resume, which I downloaded, and we'll take a look at shortly, with their phone number and email address. Don't do that. Just as a tip, like if you're gonna share your stuff for feedback online, there's a lot of weird people on the internet. Don't give out your phone number directly um, on Reddit. That's just probably not a good idea. Anyway, 25 years old. I took classes at a local college of mine to get vouchers for the CompTIA, A plus certification, and the Network Plus certification. I finished the cohort training at my college and took the first two exams. I passed in November. I know it's been the holidays and all, but I'm applying to at least 100 jobs every 2 weeks. So I've had 5 interviews with companies for the help desk position. I've gotten a third interview with an awesome company named Lloyd Group, but still rejected. I have a CompTIA A plus. I have work experience at an office as an admin assistant, and I have customer service experience at a car dealership. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It might be who I am as a person, but I don't know. I'm a really friendly guy, married to my lovely wife, also have a 2-year-old boy. Have at least 3 close friends, live in New York area, and love computers, networking, software, and have ambitions to do cybersecurity. Why won't people hire me? F word. I'm just super depressed at this point. Honestly, any advice? or just a little push from you IT professionals in this community can help me feel better. Thanks for your time. Blah 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 blah. And mention that they put the link to the resume. So yeah, it's tough. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is we are in a very tough economy for anybody who is not employed currently, especially if this is your first job. Especially if this is your first job as a entry level technical person, right? It's going to be tough. We've had huge number of companies close. We've had huge numbers of layoffs, which means that there's going to be a significantly higher number of people who are applying for entry level jobs in any field, right? Tech specifically has been known to be a sector that allows from people working from home. It has generally good benefits and high pay. And because of that, a lot of people are going to be looking to get into tech, even if they might not normally make that decision because they have a job. So there's going to be a lot more competition for entry level positions to start off with. Now, to add on top of that, we're going to have the fact that a lot of the companies that have closed have people who are maybe junior but have actual work experience in the IT industry who are going to be competing with you for those entry level jobs. Now, normally they wouldn't be because they're already on the career ladder. They're already in a company where they have a job and they're working. But in this scenario, they're right there with you. They're trying to get work. So they're going to be competing as well. And then on top of that, we have the fact that remote work in 2020 has become the norm. This has become the standard, especially for people like IT workers. You have the ability to go work from anywhere as long as you can get connectivity with a VPN. So, you're going to have competition, not just from people who are necessarily local, but potentially from anywhere in the US, and potentially anywhere in the world. And what that means is that you can be undercut and, somebody who lives in Minnesota has a significantly lower cost of living than you're going to have if you're in New York City, right? So, they may be okay with taking lower rates and things along those lines. So all of this sounds depressing, right? And it is. It's a tough time. It's a really difficult time to be in right now. But the one good thing to sort of take away from that is that it doesn't necessarily mean that it's you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're the weak link in the chain, that you're the one who has problems, right? So there's other legitimate potential reasons why this could be the case. So the first thing I want to go do is I want to go pull up this gentleman's resume, and we're just going to take a look at it. So objective, seeking position as a desktop technician. People have mixed feelings on objectives. Personally, I don't like objectives, or if I do put objective on there, it's going to be very specific to the job that I'd be applying for. So my objective would be to work at a company in a technical role in the so-and-so field, right? And then, the nice thing about that is that is an interview question, right? So, if you say that you want to go work at, I don't know what Lloyd company, the Lloyd Group does, but let's say that they're a legal company. You could say that I want to work as a IT professional doing support in the legal field, right? And then if you potentially came in for an interview, that would be a differentiator between you and other candidates. But also it would be a question that you could elaborate on, right? So you could say, well, I always really loved, John Grisham books, and I looked into to potentially going to law school and think about the idea of becoming a lawyer, but I just really didn't enjoy the work. But I like the idea of that industry. I like whatever it is, right? You got to BS a little bit to kind of come up with this stuff. Personally, I would, I generally don't have one. Certifications are good. CompTIA, Freshdesk Academy. I've never heard of this. Um, so I would maybe link to the certification. University of South Florida, construction certification. This is irrelevant to your work. CPR certification, um, in progress. So I would leave that off. Yeah, it has dubious relevance. I think that most companies you know would like to have somebody who has a CPR certification. It's not going to hurt you. So when you complete that, I'd put that back on. But if it's in progress, that's useless. So education, LaGuardia, community college, tech hire program, blah, blah, blah. I would just say LaGuardia Community College. I don't know why that's selected there. And then, I would actually what I would do is I would put the CompTIA up here under certifications. And same thing for your Network Plus. Yeah, I'd break these up. Network Plus, right, as separate certifications. And then what I would do is I would have LaGuardia Community College, August 2020, right? So, that looks like you graduated, or that looks like you attended. And then Queens College, University College, I would, yeah, I think this is fine. I would put this, student, I might want to rephrase this a little bit. Um, yeah, studying computer science. Um, I guess this shows up twice, so I don't know what I would. Yeah, I don't know about that, but anyway. So yeah, okay. So you got your associates there. So I wouldn't have this twice. Maybe I would have this. Sorry, I've got a dog. I've got dog hair floating all over there, and apparently someone's gotten in my mouth, which is kind of gross. So yeah, what I would do is I'd have these certifications and the date of the certification listed out there. They don't care where you got the certification. The whole point of the certification is it's universal. Professional experience, cool wind ventilation. Okay, so one of the other things I noticed is that you get these skills and qualifications. You get them down here at the bottom. I would take these and I would move them to the top because all of your current experiences is generally kind of irrelevant. It just there's nothing here in ventilation that's going to be particularly useful for an IT job. So what I might do is I would look for specific things that I could tie to my skills. This is something that I think is generally a good idea when you're building a resume, is for every single thing on your skills or qualification section, there should be a bullet point where you have experience that shows that you have that skill, right? So MS Office, Exchange, Excel, Outlook, Office 365, um, you know, I'd have a bullet point here where you say that you communicated with, foreman using Excel, I don't know, Office 365, whatever it is. Um, Honestly, though, like most of your experience here is kind of useless. Um, so, kept hundreds of records. Okay, so that could potentially be useful. How did you do that? Right? How did you do this, and how did you improve it? How did you um, leverage the skills that you knew? Right? So documentation and ticketing systems. You might have used those under these. So what I would do is I would really look at trying to tie in every single one of these pieces in your skills section to your experience, right? Anything that you don't have, a significant amount. Actually, what I would do is this one right here, where it's admin, assistant, IT support associate. I don't care if this is out of order. I would put this up top, right? Because this one actually has skills that are useful to somebody who would be hiring you. So that's the first thing. Now, it sounds like you are getting interviews, so that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but so your resume is working to get you in the door to some extent. But the other thing that I would do is I would add a project section here, right? And then underneath the projects, I would have the list of projects that you worked on. Home AD server build, AWS website setup, whatever those are, right? And what you're going to want to go do is you say that you have a lot of skills here. Your jobs don't show evidence of where those skills came from. Now, a lot of this is coming from this, this Angel Warrior, Skimacy Corp, whatever that is, job, right? So there is some stuff here, right? But any personal projects, volunteer work, things along those lines, anything like that is going to be really, really useful to go put on there. And then specifically for the person who's watching this video, go back and look at some of my earlier videos. I've got a playlist for entry-level career advice, getting started IT career advice kind of thing. And one of the things that I recommend really strongly is to basically hire yourself to get work experience, right? So what I mean by that is you want to go in on Facebook, on your social media, on whatever it is, and basically say, I do IT consulting, right? I'm just getting started with this. I'm doing incredibly low rates, right? So if you have any problems whatsoever, or if you know anybody who needs help, I'm doing like a 95% discount. I'm going to be working for, $10 an hour to help people on the side with IT problems, right? If you need to get, your new microphone that you bought for Zoom configured, I can do that remotely with, remote desktop. We can set it up so I can go log in a machine and get that configured. If you need a website set up, so you help somebody get their Squarespace account configured. These are all really basic stuff. And if you're getting into IT and if you're getting into help desk and you've got a technical background, you can do all these things. And what you're going to do is you're going to do this incredibly cheaply. And that's going to allow you to build up some experience, right? It's not going to be massive, but all of those things are going to be stuff that you can then go put on your resume. And those are going to be things that you can talk about in an interview. Because really what it comes down to when somebody is hiring somebody, they want to hire somebody who can solve their problems. And there's no way to really know if you're somebody who can solve their problems. But if you have a lot of evidence that you can show that you're the kind of person that can solve problems, and also that you're the kind of person who's a self-starter and doesn't necessarily need to take a huge amount of resources on their side to manage, because you're the kind of person who will go out of their way to, start their own business, right? Because that's effectively what you would be doing, is you'd be doing IT consulting, under your own shingle. It would also give you a lot of opportunity for side projects that have some use to it. Setting up your own website, things along those lines would be very handy. So I hope that's useful. I hope that you find something. I know it's really frustrating. I don't know if I'll be able to link to this this video from the comment section. I've posted videos in the IT career questions subreddit before, and they blocked them because they thought it was self promotion. So I'll probably message you with a link to this, and then yeah, and if anybody else who's interested, obviously, and sees this, I think it's allowed if you post to the location. So if you want to go share it to the thread on Reddit, you're welcome to go do so, because I don't think that would be considered an issue if somebody else posted it. They get weird rules around. I don't know why they think this is self promotion. All of the $5 I think that I've made off of YouTube, the last 2 months for monetization doesn't really count too much in my opinion. Anyway, if this was useful to you, if this is useful to anybody who watched it, obviously you're welcome to subscribe. I've mentioned this before, but if you look down below the main section here, there is links to nicholasbernstein.com/show. So if I put this in here, you can get to my personal website, and they've got a link to subscribe to watch these videos on Odyssey, which is a YouTube alternative. YouTube itself, of course, where you're probably watching this video just statistically by the numbers, using the library app itself, or via a video RSS feed. So if you want to go use like Gpotter or Newsboat or any of those kind of pod catcher utilities, you can go ahead and get the videos directly and not have to go use a website to do so. You're welcome to subscribe on any of those platforms. I don't have anything especially against YouTube, but I think that the idea of something like library is really nice. I think decentralization is a good thing. So if you want to go check me out there, feel free to subscribe on those platforms. If you do, leave a comment down below, either on the YouTube side or the library side, letting me know that you subscribed and that you came from us, because library and those apps don't really track the same way that they do on other platforms. So, and that's kind of one of the nice things about it, is you're not the product, right? So that's a nice thing. Anyway, also, for those of you guys who've been watching the channel for a while, I've obviously done some reorganization. I've moved things around a little bit. So let me know if you think this is a better angle for the video. I think one of my goals for the new year is to add potentially a second camera. So I don't know if that'll make things more interesting or not, but we'll see. So anyway, have a great rest of your week. Take care of yourselves. Good luck out there, especially for you guys who are looking for work. And yeah, see you next time.